Learning objectives. By the end of this module, students will 1. Define chaining, 2. Define task analysis, and 3. Describe how to use chaining. Learning objectives. Required reading. B&B Chapter 13. Required in-module content will be added to the description, and Module 2.3 reading quiz. Behavior chains. Behavior chains are often used as a tool to train animals, including service dogs. This module will explain what behavior chains are, when to use them, and how to use them to create complex behaviors. What is a behavior chain? A behavior chain is a string of discrete behaviors that are combined to create a finished chain. Behavior chains are a combination of discriminative stimuli, behaviors, and reinforcement. The primary reinforcer is delivered only after the last response in the sequence. Many performing animals, such as circus animals, are trained using behavior chains. Service dogs are trained to retrieve water from a refrigerator for the person. This is a common example of a behavior chain. Behavior chains and task analysis. Breaking a complex sequence of behaviors into the discrete component behaviors is called a task analysis. In other words, what are the smallest behaviors that make up the sequence? In the example of the dog retrieving the water, what are the smallest component behaviors that make up this behavior chain? So our task analysis results would look like this. Looking at handler. Water, command given. Tug open door. Pick up water bottle. Bring water bottle towards the handler. Place water bottle in handler's hand. Push door closed. Each component of this chain must be known before chaining them together. Keep in mind that if the sequence of behaviors is performed in another order, the end goal will not be met. How does it work? How do behavior chains work? In other words, why are animals able to perform such long sequences of behaviors in the same order for a small reward at the end? Each behavior in the chain serves as a conditioned reinforcer for the preceding behavior because subsequent behaviors bring the animals closer to the primary reinforcer that occurs at the end of the chain. Each behavior also serves as a discriminative stimulus or cue for the next behavior in the chain, which is how the animal is able to perform the chain in the same sequence. Here's the task analysis of the chain in the video. Lever press, rod press, putting marble in circle. How does it work? In this example, the rod press is a conditioned reinforcer for the press and also a discriminative stimulus that cues the behavior of putting a marble in the circle. The lever press is an SD for the rod press, which is reinforced by the marble being placed in the circle. How to train a behavior chain. Once you determine the sequence of behaviors to be taught using the task analysis and each component of the chain is known, there are two ways to chain the behaviors together, backward chaining and forward chaining. In backward chaining, you start with the last response in the chain and add the preceding behaviors one at a time. Forward chaining starts with the first response in the chain, adding each subsequent response one at a time until the last response is added. Since the behaviors that are farthest away from the primary reinforcer are the weakest, most trainers arrange the sequence in such a way that stronger behaviors occur first in the chain.